In my opinion, Taiwan is the most underrated destination in Asia, possibly in the world. It's got first world level quality services, such as in hospitals, public transportation infrastructure, restaurants, education. Hygiene is top notch when it comes to eating. Street food is everywhere. People are friendly. It's a very safe place. It's also small enough that you could easily travel within the island, but it's still not as small as Singapore or Hong Kong, so there's plenty of stuff to see and do. My first time to Taiwan was 2012, and I absolutely fell in love with the place. Ever since then, I've been back more than 10 times, and I still look forward to going there over and over again. Also, the experience of being in Taiwan as a tourist is not yet overshadowed by tourism, unlike it is in Japan, in Thailand, and in South Korea. So you can still very much have a local experience as a foreign tourist and have very much local interactions everywhere you go, whether it's a famous landmark, a Buddhist temple, or you're just out and about eating street food.
How many can you eat? Yeah, let's keep eating.
You better take this from me soon. Otherwise, I'm gonna eat the whole thing.
So oily, so juicy, so crunchy.
So what is this? What are you eating?
This is the original flavor of fried bread, green onion, egg bread dough.
There's absolutely 5 things you need to know about Taiwan if you're thinking about visiting, or if you haven't been there in a while and you would like to visit again. Number one, it is the street food capital of the world. Every night, everywhere, no matter where you go, you're not going to go hungry. You'll see street food pretty much everywhere. And the key thing is, unlike in many other places, in Taiwan, it's completely safe to eat the street food, no matter where you're from. You could have a Japanese stomach, you could have a European stomach, maybe you come from India, Southeast Asia, it doesn't matter. You won't have any problems with diarrhea or stomach issues, or food poisoning for that fact. Taiwan is first world hygiene with third world prices when it comes to street food. Also, Taiwanese people are extremely creative when it comes to cooking. They're always innovating and constantly updating the culinary culture in Taiwan. So every couple of years or so, you'll see new trends when it comes to seafood. New stuff will come out that you probably never seen before, and there'll always be new things to entice you to want to try more. Second of all, I speak fluent Chinese, so this part doesn't really apply to me. Within East Asia, Japan, Korea, mainland China, and Taiwan, Taiwan has the highest level of English.
So the douhua is they have a little bit of like a smoke flavor in it. So
Lots of people within Taipei speak very good English and will be able to communicate with you to a certain degree, especially within like the popular spots inside Taipei City. You don't have to worry about using translation apps all the time. You don't have to worry about finding somebody that can speak English.
You can see that this is the temple over there. That's the temple, the Siriban temple.
Now, outside of Taipei, the English levels might be a bit lower, but generally speaking, throughout the entire island of Taiwan, English skills are going to be much better than that of the other countries in East Asia. Also, public transportation is very widely accessible. They have good buses, solid metro lines, and they have airport express trains that take you to and from the airport. Not only that, if you want to go from, for example, Taipei City all the way down to the southern places, Tainan, Taichung, Kaohsiung, whatever it may be, they have high-speed rail. So before the high-speed rail was constructed, it took over 4 hours to drive from Taipei to Kaohsiung, which is the southernmost city in Taiwan. But now with the high-speed rail, it takes just 90 minutes. It's a very fast, smooth, and comfortable ride. It's very quiet. Just like in the trains in Japan, people keep to themselves. They don't play loud music. They don't talk on their phone. They don't speak loudly. You have a very comfortable and enjoyable experience on a high-speed train in Taiwan. Also, the hospitals in Taiwan are absolutely world class. I've done health checks there over and over again. So in case you get injured, you get sick, for some reason you have to go to the hospital in Taiwan, don't worry. They will take very good care of you in terms of the quality of service, in terms of the knowledge, the advancement in medical technology, and also the English skills. I think every doctor in Taiwan speaks very good English. Now, the third thing I would say is watch out for the weather. In Taiwan, it's extremely hot and humid. For example, Taipei, I would say avoid Taipei for 7 months out of the year and only visit like later fall season, throughout the winter, and early spring. Unless you like humidity, of course. And in the southern part, I would say ignore it 9 months out of the year. For example, Taiwan and Kaohsiung. I would suggest only visit like December, January, and February. Unless, of course, you're from Southeast Asia, or you're just somebody who likes heat and humidity. Then it's okay. It doesn't matter. If you're from Southeast Asia, just go whenever. In July is fine, in June is fine, in August is fine. It's more or less similar to the climate in your home country. So for this part, I'm speaking specifically to people that don't come from such humid climates, such as those in Western countries, whether it's the Americas or the European countries and so forth. Even us East Asians, we don't like the summers here. We prefer our falls, our springs, and maybe our winters, depending on which part of East Asia you might be from. The fourth thing I would say is that Taiwanese people are very, very hospitable. If you talk to people on the street, if you ask them for directions, more than likely somebody's going to help you out. Of course, you shouldn't take this for granted. You should never take this for granted, no matter where you go. And keep in mind that no matter where you go, not everybody's going to be willing to go out of their way to help you. It might not be personal to you. It just could be that they're in a rush to get somewhere quickly. I still remember the very first time I visited Taiwan in 2012. I went to the local 7-Eleven convenience store. And little did I know that I accidentally left my iPhone there. And I only found out a couple hours later. So when I returned to the 7-Eleven, it wasn't in the spot I left it. So I panicked a little. And then I went and talked to the cashier. And he said another customer found my iPhone and brought it to him so he can keep it for me. Now, this was a huge shock to me because in many other countries around the world, actually in the majority of countries, if you did something like this, you'll probably never see your iPhone or whatever valuable item you left behind ever again. So this alone made Taiwan a very memorable experience for me. Not only that, the cashier returned my phone with a smile. He didn't get upset about it. He didn't think it was annoying. He didn't blame me for anything. He just returned it with a smile, as if like I bought something from him. Yeah, that was such a wonderful experience that I haven't forgotten up to this day, 14 years later. Also, in the past, especially in the last 10 years, I've done business and I've worked with Taiwanese people before, both within my own company and also as business partners and customers. And I can say that Taiwanese people in general are very well educated, extremely hardworking. They have fantastic work ethic, very attention to detail, just like Japanese people are. They never complain if they have to work late, work overtime, or go the extra mile for a certain project or customer. It just comes natural to them for some reason. I mean, probably not every single Taiwanese person is like this, but I've seen this a lot of times, over and over again. And on the casual side, during my graduate studies at Georgia Tech, I met a lot of Taiwanese students and we befriended each other. Also, during my times of working in mainland China, doing businesses and traveling, and also my previous trips to Taiwan, I made some friends. We hung out a lot, we went drinking, we had great times at dinner and karaoke and so forth. I can say that Taiwanese people are very fun to be around. Not only are they good company, they can pretty much talk about almost anything. Of course, my background is different than an average Taiwanese person because I didn't grow up in Taiwan. I have different background, different experiences, different education, different worldview for sure. But I find that it's very easy to talk to Taiwanese people, regardless of what the subject, the topic matter might be. They're just very willing to, adapt your conversation. It's like, it feels natural. It's not like they're trying to talk to me for the sake of talking to me. It's a very natural back and forth, which I really appreciate. And I would say that this is one of the best traits I like about Taiwanese people, is that they're very easy to get along with, very easy to communicate with, almost regardless of who or where this person might be from in Taiwan. In general, Taiwanese people are well educated and they're very curious about the world. I guess because they come from such a small place, so they're very easily open-minded to branch out of Taiwan and learn about the rest of the world, about other cultures, other languages, and so forth, which is also why not only Taiwan's quite capable of speaking English, there's a good number of people in Taiwan that speak Japanese. Of course, this is related to historical reasons, but also because right now, Japan and Taiwan, they're so close to each other, and there are a lot of Japanese tourists in Taiwan and vice versa. So a lot of Taiwanese people learn Japanese to work in the tourist industry to accommodate Japanese people, but also for the sake of traveling to Japan, to experience Japan on a more personal level, because Taiwanese people love Japanese culture and also vice versa.
Yeah.
Okay.
こっち持つ。
結構
あー持って
うん、持ってくるよ。はい、どうぞ。うん。
因为它可能胶没有干的时候就 OK， 抬升前进。
有没有？
一起来啊！
拉美萨曼。
Of course, the main language in Taiwan is Mandarin Chinese. This is also due to historical reasons, which makes it easy for somebody like me because I speak Mandarin Chinese. So when I go to Taiwan, I'm easily able to communicate with people. There's no language barrier. However, there's a difference in accent. The accent in Taiwan is very unique. Well, there are many different accents throughout mainland China. So I guess people from mainland China are used to hearing different accents. So this won't be a problem for them. But you should also know that Taiwanese people use different words for certain things. For example, potato in mainland China it's called 土豆, but in Taiwan it's called 马铃薯. The subway metro system in mainland China it's called 地铁, but in Taiwan it's called 捷运. Both mainland China and Taiwan have 炒饭, which means fried rice. But in Taiwan specifically, fried rice has another meaning as well, which I won't get into in this video. But if you're from Taiwan, you obviously know what I'm talking about. Also keep in mind, if you can read and write Chinese, between mainland China and Taiwan, there are certain distinct differences. So in mainland China, they use simplified Chinese, whereas in Taiwan, they use traditional Chinese characters. Now, traditional and simplified characters have about 70 to 75% overlap, but the rest, 20 to 25%, are different. And also, if you're Japanese, in kanji is kind of an interesting mix of both traditional and simplified characters. So it's kind of got both versions of Chinese characters. I don't know why that's the case. I might have to look more into that. Perhaps this is historical reasons. If you're seeking luxury, a nice privileged life, fine dining, luxurious shopping experiences, and staying in high-end hotels, of course you can find that in Taipei, especially in Xinyi district. Taiwan certainly got a good amount of that. But most of Taiwan, I would say, even other parts of Taipei, are more down to earth. It's more grounded, more close to like everyday life. Taiwan has kept and well maintained a lot of old buildings and architecture. So as you walk through the cities in Taiwan, and even some of the like countryside, it kind of looks like you're walking through a little bit of ghetto and slums, because a lot of these buildings are really, really old on the outside, if you look at the facade. But guess what? They're very well maintained. A lot of them are updated on the inside to be modern style. And also these buildings, a lot of them can stand earthquakes and natural disasters. So I think also because in Taiwan, they have like some laws to protect and preserve, and also like the landowners, the property owners, if they don't want their property to be demolished and rebuilt or whatever reason, I think they're not allowed to be touched. Unlike in mainland China and in Japan, buildings are getting demolished all the time and they're getting replaced with new buildings. Taiwan seems to hold on to their traditions more and longer. So when you're walking out and about in most of Taiwan, it will feel like you're going back in time, 30, 40 years or so. But keep in mind, you're not going through actual slums. There's absolutely no danger in these places. People behave very well. They're well educated. Most of Taiwan is middle class or higher. It's basically just the outlook of the infrastructure that you're observing. Also, it's completely safe to eat in these environments. So in these old looking buildings, a lot of them like have restaurants on the first floor. They're similar to a lot of the street food places. They're either like partially open, partially on the outside, partially on the inside. You will see throughout Southeast Asia, for example, maybe parts of Africa too. But in Taiwan, these are completely safe places to eat. You will not have any problem. If you do get a problem and you go to the authorities, the restaurant could get in a lot of trouble, which is why they have very high, strict regulations and standards when it comes to food quality and food safety. Whereas in Southeast Asia and other developing countries, you kind of have to pick and choose where you eat, especially if you come from like a Japanese, a Korean, or Western stomach, because your stomach won't be able to handle all these places. Also kind of like developing countries in a way. Many people in Taiwan travel by those motorcycle scooters, and this is both a positive and a negative in my opinion. So the positive is that it helps to reduce automobile traffic. So there are less cars on the road because you can obviously fit more motor scooters inside a traffic lane than you would be able to automobiles. But on the negative side is that, number one, public safety is not as good for these. Obviously, everyone in Taiwan wears a helmet because you have to do that by law. But if you get in an accident with a motorcycle or a truck or something, you're at a huge disadvantage. Also, these motorbikes, they do make a little bit of noise and sound. Of course, this is not a problem. It's not as loud as some other countries because in Taiwan, they don't honk so much. So it helps a lot. But having a lot of these motor scooters is not good in terms of air quality. So in Taiwan, they call these things gizhuā. So if you ever hear somebody in Taiwan say gizhuā, they mean they're motor scooters. So if you think about visiting Taiwan, although it's very small, but I would suggest spend at least 2 weeks there. Because on your first trip, you should definitely go to Taipei, and you should also go to either Hualien or Taichung, but Hualien is more unique. And you should spend some days in Tainan and Kaohsiung. So at least these 4 places. It's going to take you a good 2 weeks for sure. 1 week, you can probably do it, but it's kind of rushed. You want to slowly enjoy your time there. They have great coffee. It's like Ethiopian grade coffee beans, latte. So special, so good. Oh man, it's like the best latte I've ever had. The Chinese tea is wonderful. The street food is absolutely amazing. But not just street food. Food in general in Taiwan is great. Also, you want to maybe make a friend or two and have some conversations with Taiwanese people. Get to know their culture and their history more. And if you've already been to these places in Taiwan, there are many other places you can visit. For me, I've been to Taipei, I've been to Tainan, I've been to Kaohsiung, I've been to Pingdong, I've been to Taichung, I've been to Jiayi, I've been to Kending, I've been to Yunlin, I've been to Hualien, and I've been to Taidong. 10 places in Taiwan. And Taipei I've been to at least 6 or 7 times, I think. And of course, I still look forward to going to Taiwan over and over again. There's still a couple other places I haven't been to yet. I mean, I covered most of the mainland in Taiwan already, but there's also like a few other islands I would like to visit, such as Jinmen and also Xiaoliuqiu. Oh, I forgot one place. Actually, I've been to Keelung as well, Keelung, but I was only there for like an afternoon. Also, I would like to go to Alishan sometime. I passed by there once, but never got to really explore Alishan. It's kind of like the Fuji mountain of Taiwan in a way. I think it does have a little bit of snow at the top during like colder seasons. And also, I think there's some famous tea that comes from there. Don't quote me on that because I haven't been to Alishan myself, but it is on my list of places to go. And of course, around Taipei, I've been to places like Zhoufen and Shifen, which are definitely worth a visit. Worth a day trip outside of Taipei. My favorite in Taiwan, of course, will always be Taipei. There's just so much to see, so much to do in Taipei. It's also very easy to get to from international flights and vice versa. There's always things happening in Taipei, always new events coming, new developments, new areas, places to explore in the city. It's a very wonderful place. It's got everything. It's a great mixture of pretty much all the unique different kinds of Taiwan food you'll get throughout Taiwan. They have it in Taipei, some version of it at least.
台湾楽しいよ。I love Taiwan.
また来たい？
また来たい。ご飯美味しいし、人優しいし、景色綺麗だし、自然もいっぱいあるし、最高。
So in short, I love Taiwan. I look forward to going over and over again. If you haven't been, you definitely need to go. If you only been once, you should definitely go again. Until then, see you next time. 再见喽。